Hi everyone, welcome to another video. Today is a special video. Today we have a special video because we finally gonna answer the question, what is a TikTok rave? So there's a lot of negative energy surrounding this topic, so I thought we need to clarify and do a definition of what is a TikTok raver, just investigate why it's so negative. We will take a deeper look into this phenomenon. So let's start with the definition. A TikTok raver is somebody who represents or presents himself on social media through dancing with the cross X and like a sneaky rave outfit, sneaky rave outfit. Oftentimes these outfits are influenced by the fetish wear, anything that is club related, but they seem not to be from the culture in the first place. So often we're talking about people from 18 to 23 age-wise, that's their main characteristics, and using the rave trend as a platform for self-validation and more focusing of how they are perceived than just feeling the music. So it's more about like a cloud chase factor. So it's social validation, posting videos, and bad etiquette on the dance floor. So the main point is that they are concerned with social validations and they want to picture themselves dancing the coolest, having the coolest outfits, and be at the most popular clubs or festivals. So what are their common behavior? It's a self-centered attitude, often seen as clubbing for being seen rather than for dancing and feel free and dance to the music. They have bad dance floor etiquettes, oftentimes not respecting their surroundings. And some of them learn their dance moves through TikTok. But to this point, learning your moves through TikTok is a thing, because back in my days when I started to rave, I learned dance moves on the dance floor. I know there's like this whole purist thing. You don't have to learn dance and just feel the music and stuff. But oftentimes, I'm talking for myself. I'm not a super musical person, I would say, or a rhythmical person, but I like to dance. So I just like watch the dance floor and try to imitate. And then I kind of, through that, I develop my dance style. But anyway, let's compare then with now. So back in the days, there was no social media, we say, and there is like less self-promotion, self-centeredism. So there is less opportunity for their egocentric stuff or less opportunities for self-promotion. Yeah, and back in the days, people still try to stand out with outfits or behaviors. You know, people like Sven Marquardt, people that are pretty famous, with maybe a Huffelsnuff, Frank Künstler. So these are like people that are pretty flashy in their behaviors and become legends. So being in a self-promotion kind of thing, or like being characters and trying to stand out, was also a thing back in the days. So that's not a thing that is unique to our society, to our times through social media. One might say it was more spontaneous and more real, because they didn't do it for a purpose to have a lot of clicks, but maybe they had a purpose and they just wanted to be popular. At the end, it's the same, just the scale got bigger. So what is different today? So Instagram, TikTok gave you like a huge platform where you can like get huge audience in a matter of seconds. It's easier for people now to get to a broader audience. Also easier to stage yourself, because you just need to be flashy in these 10 seconds, 50 seconds. And if you do it in real life, like back in the days, you have to be it, at least for the 8 hours of party or 10 hours, 60, 72. However, the motivation didn't change. People wanted to stand out back in the days and people want to stand out today. I don't see a big change in the behavior. There's a lot of senior ravers that I know that always post themselves like a selfie picture at the end of the Berghain and post in front of Berghain. Is that not a TikTok raver in your eyes? For me, basically it is. Anything where you brag about the culture is basically for me a TikTok raver. But it's not something bad. Yeah, and this rises the only question of realness. Who is real? Who is allowed to post videos about something, and what is allowed to post? You're not allowed to post your dance moves on TikTok, but you're allowed to post if you're in front of Berghain just left there and bragging about the bracelets. A lot of people in Berlin, when they come to Berghain, they leave their bracelets on for a week just to flashing it. Yeah, I was there. Cringe. So it's always about self-validation, and you get only validated if you get into a certain club in a certain space and whatever, and have a certain style. There's always like this realness, and if you don't get in, you're not cool, you're a TikTok raver. Is this the point? Yeah, real or not real, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, this whole TikTok wave of techno connoisseurs impacted the scene pretty much. You see it in the rise of hard techno. For some young ravers, it's the opening gate for techno or for the culture. I think it's a good one. I think at the end of the day, techno is a good culture and peace, love, and harmony culture, but we kind of forget it with our gatekeeping bashing and snobism. The only problem is maybe that the younger generation, or the TikTok ravers, so to say, are craving for higher BPMs, and if they don't get higher BPMs, they're less satisfied, and this clashes with the classical raving scene, or with the senior ravers. Yeah, maybe young people have more energy and wanted to dance like Duracell rabbits, and the older one not, because they don't have so much stamina. At the end, it comes to the different tastes. TikTok raver maybe wants to listen to TikTok sounds that are going viral, and the senior raver doesn't want to. So at the end, it's just a matter of taste, and I think your taste develop. You start to listen first to these stuff, and then you develop or go through other stuff. I started basically in the rock genre, my first like big crush of genres, and for sure you start with the things that are most popular. Let's say Linkin Park back in the days, yeah, and then you dig yourself through other bands, go back in time and listening to more other stuff, other new metal bands if we're talking about rock, and then you go to the classic stuff like Black Sabbath, AC/DC, and whatever. The same is with techno, yeah. Maybe you start with the things that are most popular now, and then you kind of dig yourself through, and that's a beautiful process for a developing of taste and for a developing of an understanding of the culture. Okay, so we talk about the musical taste. Now we have to talk about the fashion. And especially in the fashion, there is a huge question mark considering the realness. We see the TikTok ravers portraying raves, wearing harnesses and chokers, fetish wear, which has strong ties to the fetish scene. And you might ask, are they allowed to do it? If I wear a choker and somebody is pulling me on it and hitting me up in a dumb way because I'm signalizing that I'm sub, and I deny him in a dominant way, is this rude? Is this disrespecting to the fetish wear culture? So if you don't investigate on it, just wear it as a fashion trend. There is like the thing that older ravers or older members of the LGBTQ plus movement feel like you appropriating their culture, which is a valid point, period. With this whole appropriation thing, there is like my question that rises. Maybe you can write your opinion into the comments. Is it for marginalized groups, yeah, let's say fetish community or LGBTQ plus community, is it important for them to have acceptance of their culture, or do they want to stay special? My thoughts on it, correct me if I'm wrong. If you normalize all that stuff, it's normal to wear a harness or a choker. Wearing choker is normal by nowadays. Isn't that not acceptance of your culture, and you have to be less afraid of marginalization? That's just my point. It's just a question. So does it end up just being gatekeeping, this whole TikTok raver discrimination? Maybe it is gatekeeping, because many older ravers just criticize the TikTok ravers for not respecting the true techno culture. But what is the true techno culture? What is the true techno culture? Where can I look it up? Is there a Bible or something? Is there 10 crack commandments of Ben Clock where he tells like never get high on your own supply? There is basically no playbook for techno. This is the first. And the other thing is just what are the older ravers are doing. So they criticize the TikTok ravers for wearing the wrong stuff, dancing the wrong way, demanding the wrong DJs at venues, not respecting dance floor etiquettes. But why are they not just educate them and telling what's right and what's wrong? Basically, what my point is, excluding is pointless. It's so mainstream that they gonna be in the scene, in the techno scene, in the techno community anyways, and just you need to integrate them. If you see them as some danger to the community, to the culture, then write it in the comments and why. Also tell me why it's not better just to educate them. So at the end of the day, gatekeeping is pointless, and any generation had their phase of over identification with the culture. For example, imagine yourself being in the 90s where hip hop was on the rise, or just hip hop took over the culture. It went from rock to hip hop, and everybody like started to dress themselves with this white tees, super baggy jeans, and snapbacks to the right, and whatever. Also, there was the question, is this real? Because I think in the hip hop community, correct me if I'm wrong, this whole like over baggy stuff just was popular because like the people were poor as fuck, and they were wearing stuff that is not perfectly sized for their body. Maybe like the t-shirt of their older brother or of the father, because it has to be reused. And then it went to fashion and become like a whole fashion trend of the late 90s and the whole 2000s. Same with the techno scene. People are wearing fetish outwears, and then you see Balenciaga, Alexander Wang, whatever, making it into fashion and appropriating it. Are they appropriating it? I don't know. Let's talk about it. At the end of the day, there is always a phase of over-identification with this whole stuff. Instead of hating, we should just like welcome the new arrivals with open hands and say, hey, do you want to take some drugs? Yeah, instead of hating, we should just welcome the new arrivals open-heartedly and like take them in, educate them, talk with them, and have an open discussion about what is rave culture at the end of the day. Because they are still figuring it out, and even though if we figure it out, everybody knows the process of getting into this whole techno scene, learning the etiquette and stuff. Everybody learned it. Nobody knew it for right away. Somebody are more fast learners because they grew up in a more liberal way, but some are like need to get used to it. And also you need to think about, you know, converting people, you know, if there's like a homophobe, super conservative person, you know, but likes techno, kind of we need to think also about like getting these people change their mind and not just exclude them and banish them. Because at the end of the day, it's also a platform to learn acceptance. And acceptance is to be learned. So let's come to the conclusion. There is no right way to be a rave. The scene, the techno scene or the EDM scene thrives on the arrival of new people. So if there's no influx, there won't be an involvement and it's gonna be all the same. Maybe that's what people want. And a small reminder, the times changed maybe, but at the end of the day, the motivation stayed the same. Everybody wants to get noticed, everybody wants to get accepted, and everybody wants to have fun. These are three core motivations that I see that didn't change basically for anybody that wants to have a rave. Okay, let's remind ourselves that raves are about sharing beautiful moments on the dance floor and not negativity or toxic online debates. So let's come to the conclusion. So we did the definition of a TikTok raver, people that are just new to the scene and just want to portray themselves, but we also understood that this is a thing that actually the older ravers also had and still have maybe. The only thing is the realness part. Yes, they're wearing maybe not the right clothes, not the appropriate clothes. Is it appropriation or is it just like raising the acceptance in the community? I'm really interested in the comments that you're gonna write. With this video, I want to open up a dialogue, so write it in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe this video. And yeah, see you in the next video.